Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we delve into an intriguing topic, network ports. So, without further delay, let's learn what these are. A port is essentially a virtual endpoint where network connections initiate and terminate. While IP addresses are used to pinpoint the device on a network, network ports are employed to identify specific processes or services running on that device. Grasping this concept becomes simpler when you visualize a computer and a server partaking in different types of communication, each based on certain protocols. These protocols are rule sets that devices follow to facilitate distinct types of communication. Each protocol requires corresponding applications on both devices that can comprehend and interpret the protocol. For example, if two devices intend to communicate using the File Transfer Protocol or FTP, you would need an FTP client on your computer, like WinSCP, and an FTP server application, such as FileZilla Server, on the remote server. These applications understand the FTP protocol, thereby facilitating file transfers between your computer and the server. Similarly, if devices desire to communicate via the Hypertext Transfer Protocol or HTTP for web interactions, you would require a web browser like Google Chrome on your computer and a web server application like Apache on the server. The browser dispatches HTTP requests to the server, and the server application processes these requests, subsequently responding with the web page. Now, envision a scenario where a single server is running both an FTP server and a web server concurrently. How does a web browser know to direct an HTTP request explicitly to the web server and not to the FTP server? Conversely, how does the web server know to send the web page data to the web browser or web client and not to FTP clients? This is where network ports play a critical role. Each server application or service listens on a specific port. FTP uses port number 21, and HTTP uses port number 80. When a web browser dispatches an HTTP request to port 80, the server understands this request is for the web server service. Conversely, when preparing the HTTP response, the server directs it to a port on the client's side, selected by the client's operating system. This ensures the browser, waiting for the response on that particular port, receives the correct data. These server ports are called well-known ports and are used by the server software for well-known protocols. These port numbers range from 0 to 1023 and are recognized universally. Some examples of well-known ports include port 22 for SSH or Secure Shell, port 23 for Telnet, and port 25 for SMTP or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Next, we have registered ports, ranging from 1024 to 49151. These are utilized by server software applications, which may not form part of the core operating system but are nevertheless commonly used. Examples of registered ports include port 3306 for MySQL Service, port 3389 for RDP or Remote Desktop Protocol, and port 11211 for Memcached, which is a distributed memory caching system. Lastly, we have dynamic or private ports, used by client software applications to receive data from the server. Dynamic port number range from 49152 to 65535. These temporary, short-lived ports are assigned automatically by the client's operating system, particularly for managing incoming communications. In total, the system accommodates 65,536 ports. To establish a network connection to a specific service running on a server, you need both the IP address and the port number. These are typically represented as IP address followed by colon and then the port number. For instance, if you want to connect to a web server running on IP address 192.168.0.1 and port 80, you would represent it as 192.168.0.1:80. To observe the ports currently in use on a device, we can utilize the netstat command. This tool allows us to monitor incoming and outgoing network connections, along with the ports they are associated with. And that brings us to the end of today's journey on network ports. We hope that you now have a clearer understanding of how these ports enable our devices to engage in various types of communication. Remember to hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to our channel for more educational content. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.